The real reason Elon bought Twitter for $44 billion. We should probably consider what this implies for Elon and his portfolio of business enterprises now that the news has officially moved from rumor to confirmed Twitter purchase, because it will undoubtedly have a wide-ranging impact. Elon claims that he is purchasing Twitter ostensibly to support free expression and democracy. The future of humanity must have a shared digital town square where a wide range of opinions can be discussed healthily without resorting to violence, Elon wrote in a series of text slides that he released to his Twitter feed, which the majority of people would likely agree is a good idea. But it seems like we're having a lot more trouble coming to a consensus about how to create that architecture and who should run it. Elon Musk probably isn't the best, but he's also not the worst choice for the position. Furthermore, we can confidently assert that Elon did not purchase Twitter to profit from it. You won't find a single individual, in my opinion, who would say that buying a social media firm was a great deal for $44 billion in this economy, especially as we watch the Facebook old guard slowly burn to death. What is Elon doing with this Twitter mess then? Why does he do it? Let's try to solve that. All of this began back in March, when Elon first mused that he had really considered developing a Twitter rival. We had no idea that Elon had already begun purchasing large quantities of Twitter shares, and he had spoken with the CEO and board of directors about the possibility of gaining his own seat on the board. Then in April, it turns out that Elon had actually acquired a 9% stake in Twitter shares valued at approximately $3 billion, according to public regulatory filings. The next day, Elon is allowed to join the company's board of directors in exchange for ceasing to acquire additional shares of the business. CEO Parag Agrawal tweeted, "It became clear to us that he would bring great value to our board." Less than 5 days later, Elon reportedly messaged Twitter's board chairman Brett Taylor and said fixing Twitter by chatting with Parag won't work. Drastic action is needed. Elon rejects the offer to join the board. A few days later, on April 14th, a securities filing reveals Elon's offer to pay $44 billion in full for the business. Then there was the protracted back and forth when Twitter insisted it didn't want to be bought and fought against what it referred to as a hostile acquisition. Then they had a change of heart and took Elon up on his offer. Elon then began to suggest that he might not want Twitter because it was unable to adequately account for these spam bots and fake accounts. And by July, he had made up his mind not to go through with the transaction at all. However, Twitter filed a lawsuit against Elon to compel him to acquire them, as they had apparently warmed up to the idea of the whole hostile takeover thing. That brings us to October, where things get interesting again. Elon tweeted on the 4th, "Buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating the X, the everything app," and followed that up by writing, "Twitter probably accelerates X by 3 to 5 years, but I could be wrong." That was thus our first concrete indication that Elon had more ambitious plans for Twitter than simply reducing censorship and opening up the service. He wants to finally launch X.com, whatever that is, by utilizing the Twitter platform. It seems to be everything, which essentially tells us nothing. What is known is that Elon decided to give up his legal fight just days before he was supposed to appear in court for his deposition by Twitter attorneys. That would have almost certainly been a hostile, grueling, and probably revealing cross-examination that may have influenced his decision. Elon was given until October 28th to raise the $44 billion, which he did with the help of numerous partners and investors, including close friends, Silicon Valley tech giants, and even the controversial Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Finally, on October 26th, Elon announces that "let that sink in" as he enters Twitter's San Francisco headquarters holding a kitchen sink. The following day, Elon dismisses the majority of Twitter's top executives in addition to its CEO, Parag Agrawal. Security leads them out of the structure. Elon takes over as Twitter.com's sole administrator. Although Elon did say that his role as chief twit would only be temporary for the time being, he is operating alone. Additionally, we may discuss all of the hot perspectives that are being circulated from unknown sources acquainted with the issue who claim that Elon will reinstate Donald Trump, fire 3/4 of the workers, and start charging $20 a month to have a blue checkmark. Elon Musk's plans to populate Mars and his objectives with Twitter appear to share a lot of common objectives. It won't be monetarily advantageous to him, and it will surely make his life absurdly more difficult. However, he genuinely believes that doing these things will greatly benefit or even completely save humanity. At this point, it is very simple to accuse Elon of being egotistical or having lofty ideals, and that may be very well the case. More of Elon's letter to Twitter's advertising clients can be found below. There is currently great danger that social media will splinter into far right-wing and far left-wing echo chambers that generate more hate and divide our society. He undoubtedly made the right call. Those who are connected to the extreme right have already started it. They have moved from Twitter to other websites, such as Donald Trump's Truth Social. They are spaces that are tailored to only offer them information that supports their perspective and that they agree with. I'm not sure if there's anything comparable for those on the far left. They appear to only use Twitter to rant about how much they despise Elon Musk and how they're quitting, but I don't believe they have any other plans. Something needs to happen because it is clear that Twitter has not been serving as a community space for internet users, and Elon at least recognizes that flooding Twitter with users won't solve the problem. Twitter definitely can't turn into a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be spoken without repercussions, Elon said. Our platform must be welcoming to all users and compliant with local laws, allowing you to customize your experience following your preferences. Similar to how you can decide to watch movies or play video games ranging in age from up to mature. You can choose the amount of free speech you want to see on Twitter, a notion that he has considered in various incarnations recently, in the same way that you can select a movie based on its content rating. It is probably a lot harder to put this into practice than it sounds. Then there is X, the all-encompassing app. Perhaps that is the true cause of everything. We now know that Elon enjoys the letter X. He gave his firstborn child to Grimes, who was born in 2020, with the name that started with X. Elon's initial attempt at an internet bank was X.com, which he created in 1999 following a merger with Confinity, a software company. X was acquired by Peter Thiel, who transformed it into PayPal. Elon repurchased the domain X.com from PayPal in 2017. You'll probably find a blank page with a small X in the top corner if you go there right now. It would likely resemble the Chinese app WeChat if Elon were to launch an all-encompassing everything app. WeChat, a social media, instant messaging, and mobile payment app all in one, is used by more than 1 billion people in China. You may use it to order food, call cabs, and read the tiny print. It is woven into the fabric of everyday life. In May of this year, Elon discussed this on the All In podcast. He stated, "I believe such an app would be incredibly beneficial and just the convenience of sort of a spam-free item where you can make comments and share movies. I believe content producers must receive a cut of the profits." Elon expressed his vision for X as something that would be extremely helpful to the world at Tesla's annual shareholders meeting in August, but he also said that he doesn't need Twitter to build X. The project is merely sped up by 3 to 5 years.